Lori, since you weren't on this morning's call or opening circle, do you want to just quickly introduce yourself since we're 4 minutes before we get going?
Sure. Hi, everybody. Sorry I missed you this morning. I'm Lori Baines, and I work with Kelsey. I've been redesigning the Anamea website and a lot of the sales pages that you all have been going to. Pre-coronavirus, I was actually going to join Kelsey at Anamea, so I'm hoping to get there soon. I love making time for things that are important in life. And this last couple months has really given me time to slow down and really focus on those things. So it's great to be here.
Welcome. I'm so excited to have you. So many of you probably saw our old website and now the new website. Lori's responsible for that. So yes, and I was supposed to be hosting a retreat in April, and we just have to postpone. We'll push it. It'll happen at some point. Maya, was it you that said you bought some really nice candles?
Mm-hmm.
You inspired me, so I got out my little tea.
Oh, nice.
You can't really see the candlelight, unfortunately, because it's pretty bright in here, but it was, I got inspired. So thank you.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so we'll get started. I hope you all had a lovely rest of your day. I'm really excited for how the first two sessions flowed. And I'm excited for the rest of the week. We have the past life regression tomorrow. Just another announcement, that's going to be an hour and a half, and then we're going to do the meditation right after that. Depending on how people are feeling, I guess maybe we'll check in and see, or Colin, you and I can maybe touch base on that and just connect on what's going to serve everybody the best. So Anna Maya's social media and marketing manager, Shelby, she also might be joining us for a couple of these sessions. She and I have been talking about doing a virtual retreat or a remote retreat now for over a year. And then, of course, we found ourselves in the middle of a global pandemic. So, here we are. It's been interesting because as we've seen over the past couple months, fear is very persuasive, and panic easily goes viral. So, let's be honest, at the best of times, people tend to turn their backs or ignore, worrisome issues rather than dealing with them directly. It's also how we're wired as humans, right? We have a psychologist here. Colin, you were studying to be a doctor. Like, it's how we're wired as humans. So it's not entirely our fault. But then you throw a pandemic into the mix, and I'm sure, you guys are aware of people, maybe people or maybe you found yourself, we all have our numbing tactics, and our numbing tactics are ramping up for a lot of us. So we numb ourselves eating junk food. We numb ourselves, drinking more wine than normal. A lot of my girlfriends are like, yeah, I used to have a few glasses of wine on the weekend. And they're like, I was talking to a girlfriend of mine yesterday. She's like, I'm doing it every night. I'm very aware, but now it's like 3-4 glasses every single night. She's like, I gotta stop this. Spending too much time on social media, Netflix. Another one of my friends, she's like, I think I've seen everything on Netflix. I'm like, how is that even possible? It's like, I think I've seen it all. So, we're doing things to avoid our anxiety, and there's a lot of uncertainty, and we're like, I don't want to deal with it right now. So we're going to talk a lot about that during my SRI workshop, right? The idea of we need to feel what's surfacing in order to heal it and process it. Because we're wired to go towards pleasure and avoid pain. But that donut or that glass of wine gives us pleasure, we think, in an instant gratification, sort of way. But the long-term effects of that is going to show up as more pain. right? In terms of depression or fluctuations with our weight or inflammation in our bodies, gut issues, migraines, you know, other health issues, chronic issues. Those are the long-term effects of us numbing out, even though in the moment it feels like we're alleviating pain and going towards pleasure. You're with me with that? Yeah? Okay, great. So, and what's interesting is, of course, I mean, in our heads, we know the long-term effects are more painful than the perceived pain in that moment where we think we're going towards the donut or having the wine for pleasure, right? So, or choose to stay off our devices or whatever. Like if we feel like, well, if I say no to the chocolate or if I say no to the wine, that feels painful. So I'm going to have that, right? So it's a vicious cycle because we feel the pain in this case, like, you know, uncertainty, global pandemic, you know, all the things. So we have a glass of wine to ease the pain, but then we drink too much and then we don't feel good about ourselves, right? And then we beat ourselves up, especially because we're women, right? Women are professionals at beating themselves up. And then, so then what do? We feel pain again. We feel like shit, right? So we feel more pain. So then we have another glass of wine because we have an excuse, or another donut or a piece of chocolate or more social media or Netflix or whatever it is, or eating chips, you know? So like Jenny mentioned earlier today, like I'm not being productive, like, right? Like what the hell? I should be using this time to be productive. So you beat yourself up, then you feel more pain, right? And then we go back to the thing that we use to numb ourselves out. So it's a crazy cycle that we get into. And it's hard to get out of because our brain is somewhat wired, right? To go towards that pleasure that we think in the moment is pleasure, but that instant gratification. Because we want what we want when we want it. You know, there's also, you know, in society right now, it's like, I shouldn't say it too loud because it'll wake her up. But if I say, Alexa, what time is it? Right? Or I'll say the A word, put oat milk.
It's 7 p.m.
She heard me. So it's like, or like, I'll just call her the A word. That sounds weird, but you know what I mean? Like put oat milk on the shopping list, or, you know, I mean, I wish I could say, get me a puppy. That would be nice. But, you know, like we live in this world where it's just, we want what we want when we want it. We see it around us all the time. So what I want to talk about tonight or this afternoon, like what I want to dedicate this meditation to is when we recognize the anxiety and the fear surfacing, I want us to see it as an opportunity to heal. I want us to see it as an opportunity to grow and to evolve, because that's really what it is. And I'm sure you've heard this before, but I think it's worth repeating that everything is happening for us, not to us. And when we're in the middle of it, it's hard to see the forest for the trees, but everything is happening for us, right? Even this crazy situation with the virus, everything is happening for us. So during this meditation, we're just going to get acquainted with some fear that we might have been avoiding. And it might be a little different, like from what you're used to in terms of, you know, meditation and visualization. This is going to be heavily guided visualization. Okay. But it can be so powerful. So if you guys are on board with that, give me a thumbs up. All right. Yes. So what I'm going to get you to do, sometimes I play some music, sometimes I don't. I'm not going to today. So you're just going to listen to the sound of my voice. I'm going to make sure everybody's muted, or if you can mute yourself. I'll mute Maya. Okay. So what I'm going to get you to do, everybody can hear me okay, yeah? Okay. So get yourself into a comfortably seated position. You could be cross-legged on a meditation pillow. You can sit in a chair with your feet planted on the ground. We're just going to get comfortable and take a few deep breaths, just to kind of relax your body, and close your eyes when you feel ready. And just take a few deep breaths. While you're getting settled in, I'm just going to remind you that I do live in New York, So there is a possibility of a fire truck racing by, or you might hear my daughter's voice in the background, or maybe there's, some noises or distractions where you are. And if that's the case, we're just going to go with the flow, no stress. Let's put that self-care hat on and just be with whatever takes place during the call. So let's take a deep breath in through the nose together for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. And sigh out of your mouth. Any tension, any tightness. Breathe in together for 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. And sigh out of your mouth again, anything that's not serving you right now. And one more time, breathe in through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. And give me a nice big sigh out of your mouth and make some noise. Feels good. So I want you to imagine a bright, beautiful white light coming out of the crown of your head and shining straight up into the sky and beyond. And this light is connecting you to the universe, to universal energy. And that bright white light starts to move down your body, starting at the top of your head, moving down your face, relaxing your jaw, moving down your neck, your upper back,